Hi guys, Carolynn Castillo here. Today's video, we're talking about probate in real estate. Hi everyone, thank you for watching this video. If this is your first time here, considering hit that like button and subscribe to my channel. I'm posting weekly videos about real estate. So let's get right to it. So I'm sure that you've probably heard the term probate. Now, people use it in real estate, people use it in law, people use it in different places. What does probate actually mean? Well, by definition, probate means the legal process which property is transferred after a property owner's death. Generally speaking, probate calls for the gathering of all assets, paying off debts, and distributing remaining assets in accordance with the estate plan and the law, okay? So when somebody goes through probate, this is when someone does pass away, and the court is now, this is the legal process that now the court is going to administer that person's estate. Within the estate, that can mean houses, cars, furniture, bank account, investment accounts, a plethora of things, okay? Now, when the person has passed away, obviously there has to be somebody that is speaking on behalf of the deceased. Now, that person is called a personal representative. Now, if the person had a will, more than likely they appointed a personal representative. When I pass away, I want this person to administer my estate, okay? That's called a personal representative. Now, that personal representative is now in charge of everything, okay? So it's a really difficult time, because someone has passed away, a loved one has passed away. So it's a very sad and hard moment in life. And then on top of it, you're now this personal representative that now has to sell the house, clear out the furniture, get the belongings, sell the car, figure out the bank accounts, pay all the bills, see what creditors they have. It can be extremely overwhelming, okay? So I wanted to share my story on how I first got introduced to probate and being a personal representative and everything like that. So I got a referral. Someone had called me up and they said, I have somebody, I'm gonna refer you my friend. They desperately need a good agent. So they came into my office and sat down and, expressed that their father had passed away, and their father had a girlfriend. They were not married. But for months and months and months and months, almost a year span, the woman refused to leave the house, refused to give them, the files, the information, access to the property, the vehicles, everything that now the family has to deal with, the personal representative. They were not able to do anything because this person was denying them access, okay? So they said, we need to sell the house, but, I have this person in there. And they asked me, can I sell the house with this lady in the house? And I said, well, you could, but, it's going to sell a lot cheaper because you're basically passing that problem to get rid of that unwanted tenant in the home onto somebody else. So she's like, what are my other options? The attorney was telling her that she should file an eviction to get them out. But that's a special kind of eviction because it's not a normal, tenant situation. So they were also about to face foreclosure because the person has been passed away for quite some time. And the bank was coming after the house. I believe actually in that case, they had a reversed mortgage on the house. So the reverse mortgage, every month that's going by, the mortgage payment is getting bigger and bigger. So what we ended up doing, I said, you know what, before we do anything like that, let me go over there and talk to this woman, okay? So I went over there and, of course, I remember at the time my husband was like, no, don't go there. It's so confrontational, And I said, I'm sure she has a story. I'm sure something's going on. Let me just go over there and speak with her. So I was able to speak with her and I was able to understand where she was coming from. And we came up with a terms and negotiation that for her to leave the home. Okay, so I got her to willfully leave the house. We helped her with packing up her stuff, and we were basically the in the middle person between the family and her, because there was there was problems there. Okay. So we were able to, with our communication skills, we were able to bridge the gap, get her to willfully leave the house so that we can get access to the property. Once we got access to the property, began a whole nother things of events that we had to go through. The house she wasn't keeping up with it. The house was pretty much trashed. Nothing had really been updated in the home. I mean, it looked really rough. I mean, they were living there without lights on, without water. It was a pretty rough situation. So we got a crew in there to remove everything from the house. She thought that she was just gonna have to sell it cash to, the lowest bidder, because I'm gonna put some pictures of this house because it was rough. Okay. But upon my inspection of the home, the house had a sound roof. It had, everything was pretty sound about it. It just wasn't a really pretty house. It needed a lot of love. Okay. So I told them, listen, I can sell this house for absolute top dollar. I have a strategy. That's where my realtor hat, came in. Okay. And I actually sold that house. It was the highest sale in that neighborhood, and it was like a complete fixer-upper. The neighbors were shocked, everybody was shocked, but that's what we do, okay, over here. So anyways, we do our thing, and we literally made it by like days before. They were actually, when we had the closing, the bank was actually going to serve the papers that it was the last day the house was going up for auction with the reverse mortgage. So it was literally just, if it would have taken any longer, we would have just did what the attorney had told her to do, which was file the eviction and everything like that, they wouldn't have even had that asset. They would have lost the house. So when I got thrown into this experience, I said, wow, there is a real need here. Because when you become a personal representative, you don't know all this stuff. Like nobody, maybe you become a personal representative, maybe once, twice, maybe 3 times a lifetime. I mean, nobody's prepared for this. So ever since then, I started a division that I work on with probate families. Now, this sector of my business is so dear to my heart, because these families are in such a sensitive, tender time. And unfortunately, there's a lot of people out there that want to take advantage of that time. And what they do is they, try to get everything like nickels on the dollars. And sometimes the families just want to do that because they don't want to deal with everything. So it's so painful. So I have literally helped tons of families that thought that they could not get anything for their properties. We now have a team of people and that help the family with an estate sale. So sometimes the families are not even in town, so we actually have a team that comes in, sells everything in the house, gives the proceeds to the family, stuff that needs to be thrown away. We set up donations to come in and pick it up. We have a cleaning crew that comes in, cleans the house, gets it ready, puts it on the market, sells it for the family, gets them absolute top dollar for the house. And we also have situations where sometimes the houses are just too run down that they can't sell on the MLS. We actually have a group of investors that we work with, and they pay top dollar for these houses. Now, I've seen people literally give their house away, and it just breaks my heart, because the loved one that passed away, they would have wanted you to get the most money possible for their assets, not just for somebody else to benefit off of them passing away, So it's a real passion for me to help these families that are really down in the dumps. It's like a really low part of their life. Having someone like myself that they can trust, that can step in and really give them the advice, and also when we get involved, and I have lots of clients that attest to this, is we help the attorneys keep it moving. Because with probate, everybody has like probate takes like this really long time. But when someone like myself steps in and is helping the family, it keeps the attorney on their toes because they know they have a closing. They know they're going to have all this money coming in. They know that they have to get it done. So we're able to partner and work side by side with the attorney, making sure that the family doesn't have to get left behind and wait months and months. Because remember, when someone passes away, the electric bill still has to be paid, the HOA still has to be paid, the mortgage, all these bills, the yard maintenance, the pool maintenance. So this becomes the responsibility of the family, of the personal representative. It can be very expensive. So our goal is to step in, is to get the family all the assistance that they need. They literally don't have to do anything when we get involved. Get them the most money possible. And then afterwards, we even help the family if they're interested in investing that money. So now if you get this large inheritance, what do you do with it? Well, we actually show them how they can invest that money and have that money continue to make money for them. So it's a real full circle. And I just feel so blessed that I got the opportunity to learn about this sector of real estate. So if you know somebody that has a loved one that has passed away, if you have found yourself to be a personal representative, I would love to speak with you, find out about your situation, and see how we can help you and how we can make the process and your life easier and more enjoyable. So I hope that helps. I hope you learned today about the probate process. And once again, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. See you guys again on the next one.